So for this video, I'll be flying my DJI Avata 2 for the second time. And when I say the second time, this was really more of a first time ever flying an FPV drone. So what could possibly go wrong, knowing me? Now, if you watch my recent video on the Avata 2, you will see on my third flight, I actually broke the gimbal on it. But in that video, I also showed you how I managed to fix it again. So this video was actually recorded before the last one I posted. Anyway, let's go check out how the flight went and I will talk you through it. So here I am driving up this narrow mountain road to get to my location. Now this is one of my favourite road trips as the views are stunning from every direction. Hence the reason I was here the last time, as I was taking photographs for a book I was working on. This then is the end of the road, and that's me parking up for now. So what the hell am I doing here, and why am I here today? Well, I just want to show you the view first. Let's have a look out along there. Look at that. That's Barley Lake. This place is absolutely amazing. I love taking photographs here. The conditions today aren't really great, but look, I was going out and, well, the conditions today are fantastic, I should say. There's beautiful blue skies, but a lot of haze around the place. You can see Glengarriff is over along there. It's really good if you're a tourist, but if you're a photographer, this isn't the ideal sort of weather. So I thought, hey, look, do you know, I'm going doing a job here now today, just further over along, and I thought, look, do you know, I'll bring all my gear with me. So I don't know if you could see that now or not, but that is the DJI Avata 2. So the goggles are there and the controller is there. So I've been messing around with this, and I thought I'd start off slow. I went into beginner mode, and that lasted for about 30-40 seconds. And I switched it off and I started using normal mode. Then I found normal mode just wasn't fast enough. So now I'm actually on sports mode. And I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. Now, it's quite windy here today at the same time. You probably can't pick it up on the mic here now, but it is actually quite windy. You can see my hair is flying all over the place. Badly need a haircut, beside the point. But what I'm trying to do is, you can see the lake is there, and just at the bottom of the lake, there's a little river. So, me being me, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to fly the drone up along that tiny little stream, and then expose Barley Lake then afterwards and create a nice little short for YouTube, TikTok and Instagram, this sort of stuff, a small little reel, just something to get people a small bit interested in photography. And, you know, just thought it'd be nice, it'd be cute, it'd be good for tourism in Ireland too as well. The Avata 2 is so blooming incredibly easy to fly. It really is criminal. You know, I've been flying drones for a long time now, but the Avata 2 is a lot easier to fly. Now, the one thing I will say is it does take a small bit of time to get used to the motion controller. And obviously, you know, there are a lot of drone skills you need to learn, understand, and be able to control when you're flying something like this, because these things are quite dangerous. But they are absolutely immense crack. Like, this is great fun. It's as simple as that. Loving every bit of it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the test run I'm going to do here now. If I crash the drone, that's not going to surprise me at all. It really and truly isn't, but we're going to try it anyway. So come on, let's pop on board and go for a test flight. Let's set it all up and let it take off and see what happens. As I'm flying down along here, I'm kicking the drone dramatically left to right because I want to feel the drift in the back of the drone and to see how it behaves at speed in these wind conditions too as well, even though I'm still going slow enough. But these are only kind of scouting runs. Drift past the tree there now, and we're down towards the bottom. Going to turn around and set up, and just lining up the shot from here now. And this is primarily, you can see the drone kicking there too as well. This is primarily just about getting the line first. So I'm running up along to see how it feels. Now the beauty of this with the motion controller, it is actually really easy to fly along here too as well. To lift up your elevation a small little bit, and also steering too as well. It's reasonably intuitive. As someone who's flown numerous drones over the years, but this is my first FPV drone, I found this quite straightforward and quite easy to use. Now I'm still going very slow because I'm just trying to find the line. And once I find the line I'm happy with, I'm going to go at it then at not max speed, but kind of close enough to it. Look at that, look at those mountains and everything in the background. So this is my second run at it here now, and what I'm still trying to do is still trying to find that line. Running up along there, yeah, up around the tree, that all looks nice enough, directly over the water. Again, very easy to control with the motion controller. go close enough to the two trees here, looking at the water falling down there, looking at that cliff. Am I a small bit too high? Should it be more to the right? And I ended out too high at the end then, I think, because I'm not close enough to the water. So I thought, look, hey, I'm getting close, but that's still not quite right. But look at the mountains, look at the view in the background. And again, none of this is stabilised as of yet. But look at that. That is one stunning spot. So lining up here now for my third attempt, and I think I have a good idea of the line I want to take. So I'm running up along here, passing the tree. Yeah, that looks good. Running up along here now, seeing the two trees there now again. That looks good. Going to raise my height a small bit here now, so I'll go over that small little cliff there to a certain extent, where you can still see the water down below. Then veer off to the left slightly, and then just above the rocks and above the water, and boom, there we go. That's it, looking good. Couple of weeks I'm coming back and I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to do this really properly when there isn't as much wind and when I get a small bit more used to it, because as I say, this is really my first day flying this drone. For a very first attempt, I'm really, really happy with that. And the fact that I couldn't even see the drone at times too as well, the picture was just pixelating completely because there's a bit of a cliff or an overhang between me here and where those trees are down below there. So that was a bit, that was a bit of a scary one, but as I already mentioned, this was all filmed with the motion controller itself, and I have to say, for a starting flying experience, it's amazing as it's so very intuitive, and after a couple of minutes flying with it, you just don't even think about controlling it. It just kind of happens. Now again, from my last video I mentioned I ordered the DJI FPV Controller 3, and while I've only used it twice since I actually crashed the Avata 2, I find it easier to make precise movements with the dedicated controller. But as of yet, I'm not using manual mode, and I'm not sure I ever will, as I frequently fly the Mavic 3 Pro, so I would like to keep the controls consistent and keep them the same. It just makes that a lot easier. Now, in sports mode, the Avata 2 really moves compared to a normal drone, and it does take a bit of getting used to. So I would highly recommend, if you're starting off with an FPV drone and the DJI Avata 2, you need to fly it up high in the sky first and really get used to it. Get used to the controls. Get used to the feeling, you know, before you do something stupid like I did, or do something stupid like I tried doing in this video. Now, I know this is not as fast as a racing drone, and my flight was fairly slow, but I do plan to get progressively faster with this drone as we go along. My big issue, or my big problem here really, I suppose, is such as in Ireland, we don't get an awful lot of wind. Or sorry, we don't get an awful lot of cam days. We get an awful lot of wind. So we don't really have a lot of cam days where you can go out and you can actually fly something like the Avata 2 very easily. Because as you saw in that video, even when I was down below at the bottom and it was reasonably sheltered, the drone does get kicked around quite a bit in the wind because of its small form factor. So it is something you have to be very, very conscious of. If you live in a very windy location, then you're not going to get a massive amount of time, or you're not going to get a massive amount of opportunities to be able to fly this and practice this. But I have been flying it in here in my studio and around the home and whatnot, and that does help you get used to the controls themselves. But the Controller 3 is really incredibly handy because you have far more delicate movements and you can be far more precise with it. The motion controller is brilliant from starting off with. Do not get me wrong, absolutely love it. I think it's an amazing bit of kit. But as regards precise controls, when you really want to get close to things, which of course is something I stupidly want to do, and even though I haven't flown it that much, I'm aiming to try and get as close as physically possible to the likes of these things, because I personally believe in pushing myself, and that's something I've always done, and something I will never stop doing. But anyway, that's my own stupidity, and that's my own stupid actions coming against me then. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes video. And what did you think? Was I playing it too safe? Could I have done a lot better? And should I try a bit harder the next time? And to help you decide, here's the video again so you can have another quick look at it. see you out there, and see you in the next video, everyone.